And hello all, this is Lala Madness with another episode of the Fierce Review. And you know where to find me at Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Lala Madness. And this episode we'll be talking about General Mills. They actually are raising prices. And also I'll be discussing the Olive Garden and their reported increased profits and prices as well. So I know I generally talk about a variation of things that ranging from entertainment news, and then also I have my moments of madness, which could be whatever have you that I choose for it to be, or whatever I want to talk about at the time. That's irritating. There we go. And now, and I've done a little health and things of that nature, health topics. So now I'm choosing to actually do a business one as well to give people a little variety to, have something more than just the entertainment news, which of course I suggest you watch those also. However, this episode we'll be talking about a business topic. So General Mills actually raised prices to accommodate for the increased dairy costs because they actually own Yoplait yogurt. So General Mills does not just own cereal, they own a variety of companies. So due to the increased prices of dairy and yogurt is made mainly from dairy, you would see how Yoplait yogurt and them owning that will play a factor in the prices increasing. And they did this through a variety of products. So now the sales fell in North America, but not in Asia. So North American sales fell, and that could be for a variety of reasons, which I'll go over as well. Now, a spokesperson for General Mills said that due to increased prices and the fact that customers are shunning processed and packaged foods in favor of organic, they were still able to get an increase in stocks and shares. So that pretty much didn't stop nothing. They found other ways to kind of wiggle around the downfall of, or the increase. And so they increased the prices on everybody else in various ways. Interesting, but it's business. Now, they reported Wednesday, though, March the 20th, that shares have been down by 5% since 2014, and that there was a share increase of 4% and stock increase of 26% recently due to the increase since the 2014 sales were reported. Okay. So now General Mills also has acquired Blue Buffalo Pet Food last year, which actually provided an increase of 8% in sales. So Blue Buffalo is generally a healthy or more natural way as far as to go for dog food. So they're a little bit more expensive. They're on the high end. So of course, if they own that, that's where they got at least 8% of the increased profits that they accounted for during the report. Now, Costco, Walmart, and Target has actually forced other brands to cut costs to compete, but they did the opposite. So now their competitors are actually Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, and Kraft/Heinz. So Kraft and Heinz is basically the same company, and which own Kraft foods such as barbecue sauce, cheese, Kraft cheese, macaroni and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese. Who didn't grow up on that? Jell-O, Oscar Mayer, just to name a few of the companies that's owned by Kraft/Heinz. A few brands that actually are owned by General Mills, and some of them you might actually be surprised. I was surprised by a few, but I did know about a couple. But I can see how if you just raise up the prices a little bit on each of these, then, you might get squeeze a little change nationwide, which in this case worldwide, because their food is sold worldwide. So a few of the brands would be Wheaties, Lucky Charms, Pillsbury, El Paso. Now you know how everybody buy the biscuits, the Pillsbury's. Everybody getting down, but people still eat Wheaties. It wasn't just when Michael Jordan was on the box and whoever on, they still eat them now. Okay, Lucky Charms, they buy that. Pillsbury, they still buying Plenty biscuits, cinnamon rolls, all them folks. El Paso, your taco seasoning and all that good stuff. Yeah, they make the little shells and all that. They got you. The little kits. El Paso, they also have the little sauce that you put on your little tacos and things. Yeah, they got all that. Mm-hmm. Annie's fruit snacks. Yes, they own that too. Fiber One bars and supplements. Haagen-Dazs, Cheerios, and you know Haagen-Dazs ice cream is about high as hell. They up there with Edie's and Dryers. Dryers is actually the parent company of Edie's. But anyway, Haagen-Dazs will pretty much be their competition, and they own Haagen-Dazs. They also own Cheerios, Chex, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Trix, Kix, Bisquick, which my mother only uses Bisquick. Shout out to Barb. My mom uses Bisquick to make pancakes. She will not have no add water, anything. And she is blending that up in a whole mixer, like the yin in the mixer for them pancakes with the Bisquick. So, okay. Neck and Back. Don't know what that is, but they own that too. Gold Medal Flour. That's the #1 selling flour. Keep that in mind. Everybody know about Gold Medal. Nature Valley, Betty Crocker, Annie, Green Giant Vegetables, and just Green Giant in general, which we all know Green Giant. Hamburger Helper, Pizza, Totino's Pizza. You know the little dollar ones that is now like ranging between $1.25 and $1.75. Yeah, I remember when that was $1, like, but okay, they increased it a little bit, and I see what happened. General Mills did that. Got it. Bugles, the little, the corn snacks or whatever that's kind of like chips, but put them on your finger, get the little Freddy Krueger effect going on. Yeah, those two. Fruit by the Foot fruit snacks, Progressive Soup. Yoki, organic brands as well. They own Cascadian Farms, Muir Glen, and Liberty Yogurt or Liberté. Got the little over it. All right. So, there you have it, people. General Mills did raise prices on basically all of those products and all of those categories that I mentioned for the companies and various brands that they own. So just saying, if you've noticed an increase in prices, that's where it came from, but they've noticed an increase in their stock and their prices as well, or stock and their sales. So I guess their idea worked. The consumers really didn't stop purchasing. If anything, the companies that they bought and acquired actually made up for some of the sales to be able to accommodate for that. So, all right, I guess General Mills, their little plan to increase profits worked. And now we'll move on to this topic about the Olive Garden. They also reported increased profits and prices as well. And so another company that's taking the idea of increased prices to increase profits is actually Darden Restaurants. So Darden Restaurants is actually who owns Olive Garden, and Olive Garden accounts for 50% of the company's sales. Okay, so they reported that there was an increase of 4% in profits for the company overall, and they started by emphasizing classic Italian dishes, adding pricier wines and alcoholic beverages, and concentrating more on customer service. So now, the company also boosted prices on its never-ending promotions in order to make them more profitable. So, the never-ending pasta dishes, the never-ending this, they change them and alternate them throughout the year and with the season and time of the year, pretty much. So those change. And so if they increase those $1 or $2 per plate, and you have people coming in because you say never-ending something, they come in, even though they realize they're going to be full off the first one. So you might as well just get, okay. Anyway, but if you can eat a little bit more, then hey, pay the extra couple dollars and get all you can. And I think they let you take one for free at the end. Like, you got to order it and then, or put the brand new one in the box. Like that part, yeah. But okay, so pretty much, if they raise the prices on those, then also just all the Italian dishes, like emphasizing Italian dishes, but also raising the prices on basically everything on a menu, whether that's a quarter to even $1. You probably didn't even notice, but they did. The wine got pricier because people, and they will even tell you on the menu what wines pair with what Italian dish. So therefore, at that moment, you don't even have to worry about, what you need to get, because they told you, get this right here. And then we jack up the prices a little bit on each bottle, because if you on a date, then you want to get the bottle of wine, you want to be jazzy and be classy or whatever. Since you're at the Olive Garden and they've already suggested a paired wine here, you might as well, right? So that's a little bit higher. And they make also alcoholic beverage like margaritas and regular beverages that are, your Long Island iced teas, just regular alcoholic beverages. those went up too. And they accommodated for that with the smile, which they said they emphasized on the customer service. And apparently, for their prices to have increased, it also increased their profits. So once again, it's two companies that tried the same thing and pretty much it worked. Raise the prices. Okay, so now they also posted strong sales gains, which Darden Companies, the parent company, posted strong sales gains for Longhorn Steakhouse, which they also own, which generates about 20% of the company's revenue. So you have Olive Garden generating 50%, and you have Longhorn operating at 20% of the revenue. So them two combined, which they're pretty big chains, account for about 70% of the company's revenue. So the other 30 is coming from just they also own from their Capital Grill and Eddie V's. So, and the Capital Grill, right, is also their companies, and they posted solid, strong gains as well. And that probably was due to increased costs on the menu items, which is, like I said, is working. So I guess I can't be mad at you. If you can slide it in there and nobody notices until I report it, you did a good job. And also Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, which Darden acquired for nearly $800 million 2 years ago, continues to struggle though. So they do have a struggling business, but sales at locations open at least a year ago fell 2.7%. So 2.7%, I mean, I guess that's a lot if you're saying that you have an increased profits of 4% and you're happy about that, because a small percentage, at least as long as it's increased in the business world, is good. But if you have another business that's also in the chain that's going to bring it down 2.7% and you're still able to catch that 4, then I mean, they did pretty good. Now, how will these increased prices actually affect the consumers and the business when we have the global financial crisis going on? So at the end of the day, we all know that we are in between shutdowns. We don't know what's really happening. They trying to do HR 24 or whatever I reported on. It's a previous video back in the day or a couple weeks ago I reported on. However, if there's HR 24 that gets passed and they abolish the IRS, I mean, we don't even know if we're going to be in the middle of a shutdown at this point again, possibly, or if they've remedied all that or whatever have you, because it could just go down whenever it wants to. And we don't know what else could be coming. So at the end of the day, how are these prices? Because the rent is not going to stop going up. The cost of living is not going to stop going up. The cost of food is not going to stop going up in the grocery store. So jobs are not necessarily paying more. They're still paying what they were paying, depending on the area that you're in. So how do we as consumers accommodate for the prices that are going up in restaurants and also in the stores when the price of your job is not increasing? The price of your salary does not go up, your hourly. The type of work you perform that you were getting a totally different dollar amount for is now worth so less because there's other people willing to come in and do the same work for a less amount because they may have come from a different area where this pay is a lot to them. Things you never know how it works in the human psyche, especially just in the day-to-day world. So at the end of the day, I just want to wait around to see. I mean, it hasn't affected people from going to purchase these items with the increased prices. So congratulations to the companies that actually had the balls to go ahead and do it and then find out what happens to see if their prices, if you raise some shits all across the board. Apparently they just found out nobody notices. Two companies was both separately trying it out at the same time with two separate business models. And apparently, guess what? They still got increased prices on both ends. So is this going to be like a trending thing where prices continue to rise, but then your cost of living, as far as what you're making accommodation for on your check, is not rising? So how do you go there less? Do you start going once a week instead of twice a week? Like, what do you do? But apparently you keep going because that's what everybody's been doing. Still going, and it's still working. So I'm not mad at you, Olive Garden, and all them other folks. Who was that? Olive Garden and General Mills. Not mad at you at all. Do what you got to do. Keep it going. People, y'all keep going to shop to support because apparently y'all got it. It's not stopping nothing. And that extra quarter to even $1 or $2 ain't hurt nobody. So at the end of the day, once again, you've heard it here first with the General Mills and also Darden and Companies, aka Olive Garden, raising prices, and it's worked and increased profits for them. Follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Lala Madness for more videos, and I'll see you again next time.